Hello and welcome back to new number ones for the week of August the 12th. My name is Corey and you're here with me now. And for the pick of the week, we are going to be talking about Boom Studios' Gastronomique, written by Marguerite Bennett and illustrated by Helena Masellis, I believe is proper pronunciation of the last name. I will warn you, there's a lot of French here. So, as a bit of a heads up, this week a lot of people that I know we're going to be looking at and reviewing a different book, and we'll talk about it at the end of this, but I really want to focus on this one in particular. So I, once again, didn't really know what book I was going to go into the week picking, and when I was at the store, The Laughing Ogre, this one jumped out at me from the shelves and the wall because of the cover art, which is very, very pretty. And this is kind of like there's a future episode of the regular show that's going to be out soon where it's going to be me and Dylan talking about a series that Marvel's going to be putting out. And we talk about cover art and why cover art is actually very important because it's the first thing the eye catches if you're going into the store and not sure what you're going to get. And this is a great example as to why good cover art matters, because this, like I said, absolutely stands out in a wall full of horror and a wall full of superhero comics and science fiction and whatnot. This stands out. So we have talked about Marguerite Bennett previously on the show. She was the writer of Image Comics' Odin, which was a book that I thought was very well written on her part, but I wasn't really sure about the hook because I wasn't sure if I could follow a book of neo-Nazis and then feel sympathy for them. But, and again, I'm not even really sure that's what she was asking me to do. That's just the impression I was getting. That being said, this book is why independent comics and third-party publishers are so important, because in a world of science fiction and superheroes, Gastronomique is a comic about the French Revolution and cannibals and spies and sapphic love affairs, and it is just beautifully well written. So when we talk about a new comic, a good number one, we always look at three things, and those things are: do we have an established main character? Do we have an established world? And is there enough meat on the bone to keep things going? So our main character is Lady Charlotte, or La Python, as she is referred to. She is a spy for the French government, or the French crown, and it is the time of the French Revolution, and she is on death's door waiting to be executed. And what happens is her twin sister shows up and switches places with her to gladly go in her stead to the guillotine so that her sister can pursue a man who killed her daughter, or Lady Charlotte's niece, a man known as Tarrare. Tarrare is a cannibal who swallows things whole and is also a spy and assassin. So we have a cat and mouse game of two assassins, essentially. But what makes this interesting is Tarrare is a real fucking person. This book is very intricately researched. There is a basis of reality here, which is always great when you find some small, weird little nugget in history and decide you want to expand on it. So Tarrare was this spy who is also a showman and performer who would just swallow shit, like just rocks, apples, like just objects, live animals. He just swallow them whole, and it would obviously cause him a large amount of distress. But he was kind of a weird performer in that sense, and he also had this insatiable appetite that made him an outcast amongst his family. And so naturally, one becomes a spy when you have skills such as those. That being said, we have a really well-established background. There's a lot of flashbacks in this issue that kind of show you Lady Charlotte's character. She's not a good person. She's not a clean person either. She has a lot of blood on her hands. We see the first encounters with Tarrare, her past relationship with Tarrare, and we also see the plan in place to go find him and kill him for murdering her niece. Like I said, very well written. If I had to pick a small complaint, I feel like there might have been too many flashbacks, or they were spaced out in such a degree that it kept bouncing back and forth, and I felt that could be confusing. But let's talk about the art, which was done by Helena Masellis, or Masellis, who is phenomenal and was the main reasons why I did pick up this book. So we're going to take a look at just one of the great spreads here. So we are holding the book inverted, or not inverted, but just sideways, because we have the body of a python as we look through the history of Lady Charlotte's kills. And also, knowing the subject matter of the book, this could also be interpreted as the intestines, as Tarrare has a habit of swallowing things whole, including small children, apparently. So, we'll also show you a great little bit of this. This is a very sapphic story as well, as Lady Charlotte is a woman who loves women, and her co-conspirator in her attempts to kill Tarrare is her former lover. So, yes, this is historical. It is a work of spy thriller. It is a cat and mouse game. It's got a slight touch of the supernatural, but it is grounded in reality. Um, I just really well done. I think it's amazing, and I think that this is again why indie comics matter, so that you can put stuff like this out in a world where Spider-Man gets a million spin-off books, and the X-Men have a big event coming up, and there's another Superman story coming out. You need a world where Gastronomique can go out and be gay and have cannibals swallowing people whole and all sorts of fun stuff in it. So I think this is one you should absolutely keep your eye on. Issue 2 comes out in the month of September, so by all means, go get it. But it's a pretty book, it's a well written book, and it's a book that needs to get a lot of eyes on it. Because, like I said, I know a lot of people are going to be reviewing a different book, and it was a book I was tempted to review, but this one stood out to me way more. And that's not to take points away from Regicide. Regicide, book by Image Comics, with Patrick Kindlon writing again. One of the reasons I chose not to review it for the show is I've already reviewed a Patrick Kindlon book that I gave really good reviews on, and then started the review off with a big, hey, I'm a big fan of this guy. I subscribe to his newsletter, and I'm a fan of his band. I didn't want to do that again. So trust me, Regicide's really, really fucking good too. So if you're going to go to the comic book store, I would say pick up these two. Pick up Regicide and pick up Gastronomique. It's very interesting, and I think that it should get a lot more love than it may be getting. And if I could do anything I can to push this and get it even more love, I'm going to. Great fucking book. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. That being said, we're going to wrap it up now. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.